Can we just appreciate this angle for a minute? This is the angle that pretty much all the Zoom meetings we had in 2020 and beyond. This is the angle. I've got my phone propped on a plant on a table. And like I said, it's literally the angle of the Zoom meeting. So you're welcome for that flashback of the nightmarish time that was COVID. I stopped at a resale shop today. It was the one actually in the previous video that I pulled in and realized that they weren't open yet, so I decided not to go. Today I drove through and they were open, so I stopped, and I'm so glad I did. It turns out that this resale shop supports the outreach or the community outreach mission, so local support for programs that help others. I'm all about it. And then on that note, I was very pleased with the little treasures that I found. I found a couple, items of clothing. I'm going for more basic, classic now. I'm kind of working through my wardrobe and looking for pieces that just will be timeless and good quality and everything. So that's kind of been my focus. And then I stumbled upon a bookshelf, and it had a lot of books. And I grabbed my selections, and then when I was paying, I said, so I kind of feel guilty because I cleared out your Dr. Dobson books. I did leave one, because I already had that one. But, and then the woman behind the counter had said, she goes, I wasn't sure if I should put those out because they're, kind of outdated from the 80s. This is what came over me. I looked at her and I said, I've been a mom for 20 years. I've got a 20-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 7-year-old. And those books couldn't be more relevant to me in this time right now. So thank you for putting them out. And I went about my day. Dr. Dobson books. I've talked about them here before. I might have been the parent that thought that they were outdated. They're not outdated. In fact, the references in the books are straight out of Scripture, which is, again, not outdated. And he's got tried and true methods. So I'm not really out to change other people's ways or debate about anything, but I'd like to say that having 20 years of parenthood under my belt and still being in the thick of it now, I know we've talked about this before. I've talked about how this generation of kids, this current generation of kids is, it's a difficult one. But my encouragement is, where we are in history today is not a surprise to God. The way our kids are is a direct reflection of the type of parent we are. And I know I've said in the past, I probably would have been offended by that. Not even offended, but just kind of brushed it off. There's truth to what I'm saying with this. And I've been very observant over the last few years. And many people are fearful over our times right now. Many people are fearful about what's to come. I don't think fear is the right response. I think being proactive is the right response. And what that looks like for my family is simplifying our spoiled ways. As a country, we have excess. as a country, we have grown lazy. I know that's not true for every single community in the country, but as a whole, our umbrella is, I'm noticing, with the ease of technology being split second, I just think that we're not doing ourselves any favors by getting super comfortable with the easy path for things. So I think we're just kind of at a time where we're being called to put the work in, and I myself feel fairly clueless about, just, I don't know. I feel like we could look at the Depression era and learn a lot from them. And, at the worst, we repeat Depression era or worse. At the best, though, we're going to be much less wasteful of our resources, and we're going to have knowledge to take care of ourselves and our families. So what that means is maybe we should go a little retro as far as our parenting is concerned. Maybe we should look at the older ways of doing things, because we can guarantee they're simpler. At the least, they're simpler, which would mean, wouldn't you think, that it's a little less pressure on us, because the capacity in which we are demanding of ourselves, it leads to burnout. So I don't think it's unreasonable to make some changes to simplify your life where you are. You could be a person who's going to go all out and be like, I'm out, we're going to go live in RVs. I do dream about that sometimes, but I think the reality would hit, and I don't think that I would like it very much. I do like modern day conveniences, but I'm also being very selective about when I'm choosing convenience over practicality. Don't do it too much, like, enjoy what we have, but don't expect it to stay around forever, because I don't think that's where we're headed. So I think I said what I said. My main purpose to come here was to just share how I had found Dr. Dobson books at a resale shop, and I got them for a steal. They're hardcover books, and I paid like $1.25 for each one. And I also was introduced to one that I haven't yet seen. It was called Life on the Edge, and chapter 1, all these books didn't have their sleeve, so they're all just kind of plain. The plain book cover, and so the binding has the title and the author, but there's no summary of what the book's about. So I picked it, because it said Dr. Dobson. I'm like, well, whatever, I'm gonna pick it up because it's a nice hardcover book, and everything he writes has so much value. But the one, Life on the Edge, I opened up to chapter 1, and the first couple sentences described who this book is for. It's for 16 to 20. My puppies see something. It's for 16 to 26-year-olds. And I have a daughter who's 20, who is brilliant in her ways of becoming a young adult and responsible one at that. But that also, I hope this doesn't distract you. That also doesn't mean that she's having an easy road. She's had some challenges going from childhood into adulthood, and I'm sure it doesn't help that COVID stole the last 2 years of her high school career, which is kind of the culmination of your childhood. Like getting your junior and senior year, it's like, that's what we all work for. My dogs are barking at somebody walking by. Hold on a second. Puppies. creaking old world. Did you hear the creak in my sliding glass door? That's original. The house was built in 74, so it was heavy. So yeah, my daughter is an amazing young adult, and she's got amazing things going for her, but I think there are some emotional grievances from the way things went down with COVID. And so, you know, I bought this book for her, long story short, and I've got my 15-year-old turning 16 literally next week. He's a leap day birthday boy, so his last real birthday was, 7 days before everything shut down with COVID. So we're kind of in this time where we're going to kind of look at the past, and, you know, we've learned a lot over the last few years, to put it mildly. And I think not putting outdated books on bookshelves is a terrible idea if you think of the big picture, because, like I said, history repeats itself. So maybe these outdated books aren't so outdated anymore. That might be just the message that I'm trying to get to. Anyways, long-winded. I'm on 11 minutes, so I'm going to end this one and wish you a happy day.